abasibe balwadde wadde omwogezi w'amakomera akituulidde agaanye okukyogera nti abasibe balwadde. Naye nze nga shadow minister nafunye abampadde amawulire mu ngeri ey'ekyama naye nga yeesigika nti nno okuva ewiiki nga 2 kati n'omusobyo aba National Water basalako amazzi ku kkomera ly'e Luzira ekivuddeko abasibe okulwala endwadde nnyingi nga mwe muli n'ekiddukano ky'omusaayi olw'obujama bwe balimu. Ne bw'ogenda obugenzi wali mu ddwaliro ly'e Luzira n'oyingirako ku toiletisizaawo osobola okutegeera kye ŋŋamba. Gavumenti eno yeeteeka kusiba abasibe abangi nga n'abasinga basibirwa bwereere bambi, abalala nga basibirwa obusangosango, abalala nga bali ku limandi naye nga bamazeeko myaka na myaka tebakyatwalibwa na mu kooti. Bagamba mbu bamukuba ekibaluwa alinda high court lw'erituula, abantu ne bamala eyo mu kkomera emyaka 5 balya kimu ate nga n'emmere gye balya nayo yennyini n'omuntu alina akabizi ke ng'akaagala asobola obutakawa kawunga kali ke bawa abantu baffe Luzira. Bwe batwala enku bajja eyo mu byalo balaba batema miti mibisi ne batikka egyo mbu batwalidde abasibe enku bafumbe. Kwegamba ekiri eri mu kkomera nnaku njereere, abasibe abagagga bo beefumbira batuula wali ne balya emmere, oba abasibe bano abakungu abo bwe batwala nga baziza ate agasanga mwattu ate be bali ku gasanga agannagomola ne batuuka nakwefumbira. Ne mu bajeti yaffe gye twakoze omwaka guno temuliimu wadde 10 ekyogulira abasibe ebyokwebikka. Kakati gavumenti bwebanga terina ssente za kuyimirizaawo makomera, kati esaana ate erekeraawo okubanga eyagala ennyo okusiba abantu. Tugamba bwe tuti gavumenti esaana erowooze ekyokuteekawo embonereza y'abantu empya. Twagenda eyo e Mozambique okukoppa ne tusanga nga yo gavumenti bwekwata olumala okuvunaana n'ekusalira ekibonerezo ng'ekukwasa omusuubuzi oba alina kampuni y'abazimbi oba y'abakozi ba nguudo oba alina faamu nga bakutwala eyo ng'okolera eyo mu bantu abali private. Abamu babatikka ne ku nnyonyi ne babatwala ne mawanga g'ebweru ne bapakasa ate n'omusibe ne bamuwaayo ne kasente nga nnyuka. Ekirala tusaba abalamuzi bagende nnyo ku bibonerezo eby'okutanza omuntu. Nakyo kiruma ku busangosango ng'oggyeko ogw'obutemu, okukwata abakazi n'okusobya ku bwana obuto, obubbi obw'okukuba obwa kkondo. Naye gino emisango emirala lala gino emisamusaamu abantu babaweesa engassi nti gukusinze sasula emitwalo 10 n'ebintu nga community service biterebwemu nnyo amaanyi kuba kati ebiriwo babikola mu ngeri ya lusaagiriro teri serious. Emisango emirala egisibye Abannayuganda tegikyasaana na kubeerawo. Wano kano kakooti ka KCCA kekajjuza Luzira naye abantu babakwatira obusango obutaliimu nti ngusanze otembeeya, simanyi kulabye oyita emmotoka, simanyi dereeva otikkidde wotateekwa kutikkira, ne babasiba Luzira ne babonaabona beebo bemuwulira abali eyo kati abali abalwadde. Luzira ejjudde. Luzira erimu bwe bwatuukira mu Maaci w'omwaka guno yaliyo abasibe 8,709 naye nga 15,167 bali ku limandi. Ekitegeeza nti ku basibe 8,709 15,167 basibiddwa bwereere kubanga amateeka gagamba nti omuntu taba na musango okuggyako nga gumaze omukola ki okumusinga. Kwaba abasibe 3,157 be bokka be baasalira. 1,007 bali awo babasalira gwa kufa, tebabatta ate bababonyaabonya. Ffe tugamba nti omuntu bw'omusalira ogw'okufa bw'otamuwanika kalabba mangu muyiyize ekirala. Abo be bantu betwalitadde ne ku nnyonyi bagende bapakase mu mawanga eyo amalala bakoleyo emirimu egy'amaanyi kubanga kati mumutadde awo ate be yatemulira omuntu ate bojjako ssente zaaliweredde bamulekwa ate okubeezaawo omutemu. emirundi egisinga abantu tubasiba balala ate ne makomera eriyo balala. Musiba omuntu nga muvubuka nga musamizo oba nga sitakiririza mu Katonda, ogenda otuuka e Luzira amazeeyo emyaka 2 nga mukadde nga mulokole. N'olwekyo abantu bwe batyo basaana kulondoola. Kati oyo aba mulala bwe musanga nga omuntu yakyuka nga mwasiba mulala ate ne musanga nga Luzira eriyo mulala, oyo mumusonyiwa agende, kubanga n'okusonyiwa naye enkola ya buntu. Naye gwe mwami Museveni oli president ki ne tuyitanga ku Christmas, ku Independence, ku Pasika niwe tujjukirwa. Olaba ku Pasika olaba nabali bagamba nti balaba omutemu bamute Yesu bwe bamukomerera. Olaba nabo n'abo abakomerera Yesu bafunamu ku kisa ne bagamba naye ye balaba tumute. Gwe mwami Museveni lwaki tosonyiwa ku basibe? Waliyo abantu ng'obalaba naddala abasiba abakyala eyo nabalaba we nali mukomera, n'obalaba nga bali eyo bamuleba baani bakadiyidde eyo tebakyalina n'amaanyi wadde agagoba embaata. Kati osiba waaki oyo musonyi wagenda eka ebirala omuleke ne Katonda we. Owulidde? Naye okujjuza ekkomera abantu ne bajjula mu makomera ne babeera eyo ne bavundira eyo. Abakola Luzira gwe tusibamu abantu olwaleero yazimbibwa mu 1924, emyaka 10 egiyise. Abamuzimba abeerengamu abasibe 1923. Olwaleero bawerayo 1,000. N'olwekyo buli wali badde omusibe omu, buli kafo ke bakola okwebakamu omusibe omu, mwebakamu abasibe 4. Kyova olaba abantu bangi kati bava mu makomera nga bakyamye n'embiriizi, basula bayimiridde, babapanga bupanzi nga kutiya. Kakati nno olwaleero wakati mu kulaajanira gavumenti ebyo byonna, naye era mpandiikidde ne minisita ebbaluwa, kopi yaayo yino ng'egamba bweti nga 26 August 2024, the Commissioner General of Prisons, the Uganda Prison Services, PO Box 13/13/15 Parliamentary Avenue, PO Box 7182 Kampala, Uganda. Dear Sir, oversight visit to Luzira and the other prison facilities. I salute and commend you for your efforts in ensuring justice and offering collection services to our country. In exercise of my legislative role as the Shadow Minister for Internal Affairs, I'm writing to seek your clearance to enable me carry out oversight activities of Luzira and other prison facilities across the country. It is my belief that having clear appreciation of the collection system in the country will enable me to legislate effectively on the policy matters pertaining to your institution. I will be joined by some members of Parliament sitting on the Committee of Defense and Internal Affairs belonging to the opposition, technical staff, and a group of journalists. I look forward to your favorable consideration of this matter. For God and my country, yours, Bachireke Nambooze Betty MP, Shadow Minister for Internal Affairs. Note: I intend to start this visit on Monday next week. Thank you. Basebo olwokuba nti noffe ab'opposition ogwaffe gwa alternatives na kubeera bakalabalaba, nsazeewo constitutinga y'ettiimu tugende nga minisita ngende nambula amakomera nga ntandika n'eri Luzira ku Monday. Mpandiikidde abakulira amakomera banteekereteekere, era nammwe ab'amawulire nja basaba mu bbaluwa yange nkitaddemu nti nammwe babakkirize tugende ffenna, sirabamu buzibu, tugende tulabe ku basibe, naffe tukomewo okwogera eri Parliament n'okukola obuvunaanyizibwa bwaffe nga aba Shadow Minister nga tumaze okwetegerereza ddala. Mu kulambula kuno mu ngeri ey'enjawulo, njagala n'okulaba ku basibe abasibiddwa wakati wa 2021 n'olwaleero nga bakwatiddwa nga baana baffe ab'opposition. Ffe bye tukakasa nti basibirwa bwereere simanyi bano bankusanze oyambadde kasaati kamyufu simanyi kakofiira era nga tusaba mwami Museveni nti omujjuzo guno oguli makomera ekimu ku kiguleetayo kusibira abantu bwereere kati abo abantu bonna be bakutte olw'ebyobufuzi babate kati waliwo ennaku ezo be bagenda mazima ne bayoola Kenya Uganda nemenya ne booda neyingira e Kenya neyoola bannayuganda abaali bagenze ku workshop e Kenya abavubuka ne baleeta ne babayisa mbuzibu ennyo nabo bali Luzira wali so twagala tugende tulambula amakomera sisuubiramu ansa gye bayita nno ndi ku mulimu gwennyini ogwannondesa naye nga nabiri byensoose okwogerako bikulu ekirala mwami Museveni omanyi nnyo okulagira ebintu n'olagira naye kati kino nkikutumye ekiragire tekisoboka tekisaana n'obuwemu kyabuwemu nti national water yasazeeko amakomera amazzi tuwadde essaawa 24 nga national water emaze okuzzaako amazzi geruzira oba ebanje kasita gavumenti y'emu kakati tuli wano essaawa zizino ziri 7 n'eddakiika 22 ez'emisana essaawa 24 okuva kati national water muteekwa okuba nga muzizzaako amazzi Luzira tetujja kufiirwa abantu nga babasiba national water eyiyeyo engeri endala gyesobola okubanja ebiliyoni zino zegamba 18 zebanja Luzira naye kyogamba nti esaze ku mazzi mu kkomera eri abantu baffe 5000 abatasingibwanga musango ate nabana 3000 abasingibwa omusango kuliko 107 bokka abasalirwa ogw'okufa bano tebasalira gwa kufiirwayo naye ekikolwa kye bakoze kigenda kutta abasibe so we are giving you 24 hours kati nze ndagira nga minisita kubanga Hindo Tafire ndowooza naye agenze eggulu nze ndiwo mu kibuga essaawa 24 muzeeko amazzi oba mubanja mubatwale mu kkooti mulabe ebintu ebirala bye mukwata naye so sigamba mbu musazeeko ekkomera amaki amazzi we are giving national water hear me out I'm saying this at exactly 22 minutes past 1 today that we are giving you 24 hours. I bet in Nambooze the shadow minister. I'm giving you 24 hours to connect Luzira back. There's no discussion about this. You should use other methods to demand your money, not this connection. Because by doing this, you are risking the lives of over 10,000 prisoners who are in Luzira. Already they are suffering from dysentery, and you are keeping quiet about this, Mr. Minister. Abasibe baddukana musaayi kubanga bamaze banga kwanvu nga tebalina mazzi. Toilet ziri wali basula ne kazambi ate bangi nnyo babasazeeko amazzi. Eno gavumenti kika kyerina ebitongole bya gavumenti ebibanja gavumenti n'owulira munna ate aba national water ate basazeeko amazzi Luzira. I mean, nti Ministry ya Finance eri awo ebagaininga nabano bwe tunafuna sente tunabawa. Should we really bargain about this? Government bwe mbate musobola kulagira bazeeko mazzi abasibe mbate bagendeeka musigaze bali 117 be basalira ogw'okufa bandooza bo ne bwe mubatta bo babasalira gwakufa naye bano abalala naddala bano abali ku remand 15,000 bwe banga Luzira teri mazzi bo bano baddeyo ewaabwe bwe mulifuna amazzi ye ate muddamu baaki omuntu nga tanasingibwa musanga akola ki mu kkomera 24 bwe baba tebannagazaako tujja naffe kusaba abasibe. Omanyi abasibe abo gye bali eyo force number. Nalabye omukulu akulira omwogezi w'amakomera yawandiikidde abano mbu tubasaba abasibe mubeere hear this. The affected prisoners and staff are urged to remain calm as long-term solutions are being sought. Bahine yawandiika basaba abasibe mutugumiikirizeeko, abasibe bagumiikirize nga bali mukomera basula ne kazambi nga tebalina mazzi, kati bagumiikirize eki. Nange abasibe mbagamba temugumiikiriza, mu ssaawa 24 bwe ziyitawo nga amazzi tegannadda, abasibe temugumiikiriza. Era waliyo omusibe omusame okanya yeekalakasiza olw'obutaba n'amazzi, ne bamukuba ne bamukyusa ne bamutwala n'ekitalya. Abaakubye essame tugenda bakolako nga bantu, ekirungi abamanyi tugenda bawawaabira nga bantu. Omusibe naddala ng'ali mu mbeera mbi abeera n'eddembe okwekalakaasa, because buno bulamu kufa na kuwona. Balwadde ekiddukano ky'omusaayi, temuli mazzi, ate oli ayogeddeko, mumukubye, mumugye ne Luzira, mumututte n'ekitalya, ate mu mbeera esinga okuba embi. Naye nga ssame ekimusibya ki? Mbu baamukkiriza okweyimirira, naye nga pasipooti kooti ejagala, naye nga pasipooti yabula. Ne kooti nammwe mwekubemu. Okweyimirira omuntu kuteekwa kubeera kwa ssente ntono nnyo, kumpi tekyetaagisa na ssente. Twetaaga eki? Kukakasa nti ono gwe bakkiriza okweyimirira n'akomawo. Waliwo abamweyimiridde, era ne bw'ataba na bamweyimiridde, ne kooti yennyini esobola okweyimirira omuntu, kye bayita kooti bond. Naye bo bano kati okweyimirira kw'omuntu bakufudde kuzibu nnyo. Omuntu ng'asaba omweyimirira bamusaba ebintu ne weewuunya, oba ddala ekigendererwa kyakussa mu nkola constitution kye yalagira nti omuntu atannasingibwa musango aba talina musango, era aba talina nsonga emusibya, oba bakola kiremya. Might even lose life. The incident now raises concerns about the living conditions of inmates, as the facility has been grappling with overcrowding and a range of other right violation acts, which include inadequate and poor quality food, unsanitary living conditions, and lack of access to medicine and treatment, among others. Efforts and engagements between the Prison Authority, the Ministry of Finance, and National Water Corporation over the matter have proved to be fruitless, and the problem continues. It is reported that the crisis resulted from the recent budget cuts, which we don't agree with. According to me as the Shadow Minister, I don't agree with this explanation that the problem is due to budget cuts, because as you must be aware, the budget cuts were done recently. But if you look at the outstanding bill, you'll find that it is in billions of shillings. Yet last year, these people were given money to clear these bills. So Luzira Prison, as you might be aware, was established in 1924 with a capacity of 1,923 prisoners. Today, it holds 8,790 inmates. I want to repeat this. This prison that was constructed in 1924 has a capacity of 1,923 prisoners. However, today it is holding 8,790 prisoners, which exceeds the capacity by 6,867. That is 4 times the capacity. That is 400%. 400%. In March 2024, Luzira, these figures, the figures I'm giving you, were as of March 2024. However, I think that by now, this number might have gone up to the extent that there is a possibility according to information from within, that at the moment, Luzira is holding up to 10,000 prisoners and also. So, among these, 5,167 are on remand. 3,157 are convicts. 107 are condemned prisoners, these are on death row, and 59 are civil debtors. The prison also reported a staff population of 2,653 people. This places Uganda's prison of Luzira globally as the most densely populated prison on the continent. Worldwide, we are at number 3 among the densely populated prisons in the world. We are at number 3, with Haiti and Congo taking number 1. So on the continent, we are only next to Congo. In the world, we are at number 3 as having one of the most densely populated prisons in the name of Luzira. However, what is happening is in Luzira is duplicated even in other prisons, including those which are up country. One of those places that are worst hit is Kitalia, where you find that some people don't even have a place to sleep in. That some prisoners these days spend the night standing, and this is no exaggeration, but the real facts on the ground. As we speak, Luzira, like other prisons, face a challenge of infrastructure, with even the few existing buildings dilapidated. Much as this reflects on the level of crime in the country, it also has an implication on the sentencing powers handed to magistrates, yet the government's agenda doesn't emphasize appropriate financing of courts, police, and prison systems in regard to timely investigation and the disposal of cases. At the same time, prisons have been affected by COVID-19, with the backlog in cases that piled up during that period. While sentencing an offender to a jail punishment, being booked to spend time in jail where living conditions are cruel is double punishment and therefore against the principle of dispensing justice, the government has totally failed to come up with alternative systems that would see the number of prisoners in our prisons decreasing. Statistics reveal that the number of inmates on remand in custodial facilities across the country outweigh those who are convicted. For example, at Luzira, among the 8,790 prisoners, 5,167 people are on remand. According to our laws, this means that we are holding 5,167 innocent people in Luzira, because a person is presumed to be innocent until proved guilty. We have seen a situation where it seems that the courts of law are abusing their powers, overstepping their mandate, and enjoy keeping the people in prison. A case in point is that of Sam Okanya. Sam Okanya is a Ugandan who has been abroad. When he returned, he was arrested and charged of being a public nuisance. Then he was given bail. When he was given bail, one of the conditions was that he should submit, he should surrender his passport to the court. Eventually, Sam Okanya proved that the very reason that he returned to Uganda was that he had lost his passport. And now, even after satisfying all the other conditions for bail, Sam Ekanya remains in prison just because he doesn't have a passport to deposit to his court. We don't know when it became compulsory for courts of law to require people to deposit their passports as a condition for bail. However, when the water crisis occurred in Luzira, Sam Ekanya, being one of the people who is exposed because he has been in the Western world, he went on to strike. He was beaten severely and even transferred to Chitalia. And then Chitalia is in a worse condition than Luzira. But this is somebody who has not been proved guilty. This is a person who has satisfied all conditions for bail, save for one thing that is being demanded by court outside the law, because it is written nowhere under our laws that a person will be requested to deposit his passport to his court before he can be given bail. And the fact that Sam proved that his passport got lost, and he reported this at the point of entry. When he was entering Uganda on return, he reported at the point of entry that I'm returning minus my passport. And it is well recorded by police at Entebbe that by immigration that he reported loss of a passport. But as we talk right now, he's one of these people facing dysentery, living in a prison where there is no water, yet he has fulfilled all conditions for bail. But Sam Ekanya is just one of the many people who are being held in prisons when the actual fact is that they would be free men. It is only that we know him, but there are so many other people who are in Luzira who are not supposed to be there. They have been there for years. They are not being taken to court. There is a category of people who are said to have been, when you go to court and say now you have been sent to the high court, and you wait for up to 5 years, nobody takes you to court, and you are not serving a sentence, but you are waiting for a day when you will be put enrolled on the high court list to go and now start to go and defend yourself. What we are trying to say now is government has no liberty to keep people in Luzira and other prisons when they don't have facilities to sustain them. Like now, there is no water in Luzira. There is no water. And, Luzira, they use waterborne toilets. And once you don't have water, you don't have toilets. So why should we continue incarcerating these 5,167 people who are innocent? The fact that people are told to pay money as a condition for bail should also be abolished, and the court resorts to what they call the court bond. Because with the court bond, it is the court that stands in instead of sureties. And the court say, we know Nambooze, she lives in Mukono, she's a registered citizen of Uganda, this is her ID, we know her location, she has been in prison for this time, the case is not taking over, this person should go out and be on bail. Instead of keeping the people, they can't feed them, they can't, if you look at our budget, you will find that this year's budget, Parliament provided no money, not even a single coin for beddings for prisoners or their uniforms. So how do we expect these people to survive without even the basic things like food? They eat once in a day, and the type of food they are fed on, even a kind person cannot feed his pig on the food that is given to our people in Luzira, in Italia. And we shall not wait until we become prisoners for some of us to come out and say that there is something wrong happening here. I think this is something that should be picked on by all free men, because today you are a free person, tomorrow you might be one of those people in Luzira. And we should advocate for better conditions for our prisons when we are still free men. That's why I want to call upon you, colleagues in the media, to join me. First of all, there is something that needs urgent and interim measures. That is the fact that National Water has the guts to disconnect prisons. There are some things which should not be, even thought about. That National Water can, for any reason, disconnect Luzira prison. And I mean, to me, that is, carelessness, cruelty of the highest order. First of all, both of these institutions are government institutions. And a government yebanja. How can a government institution lay siege on another government institution? Really? So, if there is no water in Luzira, that means people should be, we should open the prisons and people go home. However, what I want to say is that we have heard about presidential directives. This is where we want a presidential directive. That Mr. Museveni, you order that National Water connects all prisons without any delay, immediately, within the next 24 hours. We want to see Luzira back on the water grid. 2, it is time for Uganda to review and reform the criminal justice process as a whole, from arrest, release, and also invest in crime prevention and reduction. In Uganda, the government is talking about expanding prisons, but I want to tell them that that is outdated. In the modern world, we are no longer expanding prisons. The modern world is talking about alternative punishments and then prevention of crime resulting from early detection, that you equip police so that people don't commit offenses. But then there are even other laws that are redundant, that are not supposed to be on our statute books. Like, the other day MPs here were arrested and charged of being, Honorable Semuji was charged of being a common nuisance. Such offenses have been abolished in most independent countries apart from Uganda, where you still find the people charging others of being idle and disorderly, being vagabonds, being nuisances. We should do away with some of those offenses, because when the place that is populating Luzira highly is this KCC airport. People who are arrested for hawking, trading along roads, such people should not end up in Luzira. Taxi drivers, conductors, tutors, this KCC airport on average sends about 50 people to Luzira every day. Yet, all of those offenses that are charged by KCC airports are not supposed to be cases that would cause an arrest and detention of anybody. 2, we are suggesting that government should substitute most of the punishments with the fines. Even paying a fine is a punishment. We get nothing from incarcerating people, especially young people, and making them lose their useful period of life, leave families without parents. Instead, other countries have resorted to fines on most of the cases apart from felonies. Then we say maybe we would hold the people for murder, for rape, for defilement, for robbery, yes. But for simple, small cases, we would go for fines instead of thinking that one day we shall wake up and then have big constructive big prison facilities. That is outdated. And in any case, Uganda can no longer afford to imprison anyone. We are below all the standards. We are just human rights violators. Even those people we are holding as, including these people who are on death row. Because if somebody is on death row, you are supposed to try that person first. And if you want to hang that person, you hang that person. If you don't hang that person within a given period of time, then there is nothing why you should, there is no reason why you should continue holding that person on death row. Omuntu bamusalira gwa kufa bwoba tomuwanise kalabba mu budde mu myaka egisooka 5 mutagende, because n'okumuteekawo nti alinda kalabba omuntu n'abeerawo buli lunaku nti omutaddeawo alinda kalabba nakyo kyakutyoboola ddembe. Naye kati bagamba mbu abantu 107 bali wano Luzira mbu bali awo balinze kubawanika kalabba. Mwami Museveni tasayininga nti babawanike, ate gavumenti eremezaawo ekibonerezo ky'okuwanika abantu kalabba, ate nga omukono gubakankana tebabawanika kalabba. Kakati kijjewo omulundi gumu tugende mu byafaayo nti Uganda tekyasalira abantu gwakufa, kubanga ne bwe tubasalira ogw'okufa ate tetubatta, wabula okubatulugunya obutulugunya ne tubateeka mu makomera, nabo ne bateekawo expense ennene ennyo eri omuwi w'omusolo nti ate wuuyo yatta omuntu ate ne tumuspendingako sente z'omuwi w'omusolo nnyingi nnyo nga tumulabirira. Ekirala, one time when I was serving on the Human Rights Committee of Parliament, we went for a benchmarking trip to Mozambique. One of the reasons we went to Mozambique was to benchmark their system that has privatized prisons. In Mozambique, the government deals with arrests and prosecution. When it comes to holding a person to serve a sentence, that person is put in the hands of private people who make that person productive and even pay government a certain sum of money. We went to Mozambique, we benchmarked, and I think it is high time Ugandans serving sentences are given an opportunity even to go and work for companies, including foreign companies. Some of these people you see working here from China, prisoners. We have so many places that needs man labor, but then we continue incarcerating people who are not productive. Even where they are productive, they are being misused, and the funds that are raised through their hard work is stolen because there is no proper system that provides for such an arrangement. So lastly, I want to request Mr. Museveni to remember that as a fountain of honor is expected, especially on important days like Christmas, Independence Day, to pardon people. There should be a massive pardon. You know, there are so many people who have really been in prison for so long. We imprisoned other people. Right now, the people who are living in Luzira are different from those we sent there. One time I saw this lady Muleva when I was there. Mujukira omukyala gwe bayita Muleva yakolanga na prisons. Mutuuka ekiseera nga mwasiba omuntu mulala n'abeera Luzira n'amalayo emyaka 3. Eri Luzira eriyo omuntu mulala si oli gwe mwasiba. Mwe mwasiba musamize ali Luzira mulokole. Mwasiba muvubuka ali Luzira mukadde. Oyo omuntu lwaki tomusonyiwa? Government chief president gwe wabaki atasonyiwa? Abantu ne babeera eyo ne bavundira eyo ne tuyita ku nnaku enkulu, ku Christmas, ku Pasika, ku Independence, ku ki, naye nga mulina president mu ggwanga atalina kisa, atasobola kusonyiwa ku basibe. Weetaagawo ekisonyiwo ekya nnamaddala eri abantu abamu babasumulule. Ekirala is our people who were imprisoned for political reasons. Some of them are now before court martial. And did you know what? Even those who go through court martial some end up in Luzira, others in Italia. We are demanding for the unconditional release of these people. First of all, they were imprisoned for no offense. 2, the government that imprisoned them does not have capacity to hold them. Like as I've told you, right now prisoners are suffering with dysentery in Luzira because of the water crisis. So we are demanding the release of our people. Those who were arrested for political reasons, Mr. Museveni, you know them. The other time you made us even produce a list of those people and we handed it in. We are demanding for their unconditional release. 2, we are asking courts of law to reduce the requirements for bail. Bail should be as cheap as possible. The only reason that a court should fix conditions for bail would be to ensure that this person would return, but not prohibitive terms. You tell somebody, bring your land title, bring your birth certificate, bring your mother's birth certificate, go and tell us, no, bring a letter from your Kirani reader, go and bring this, go and bring, and then at the end of the day you say, pay 10 million in cash. That is already prohibitive. And the problem is when our people pay their money for bail, when the case is finally disposed of, it becomes very, very difficult to claim this money back. For us, opposition political parties have lost a lot of money. We have tried to reclaim that money, but it is so difficult. Somebody can send you to Mars and you return before the courts can refund the money that you gave them during the bail. And that shows that at times, even this money is not banked. There's something, under table dealings, even including money that is paid in the bank side. I tell you, Ugandans are so bold when it comes to stealing, including the money that is deposited in the banks. Some of this money doesn't find its way on government accounts. That's why when somebody is released and he goes back to claim the bond money, they make you work until you give up. So, basebo ne banyabo chenzo baga